Hey, you heard about food forest and you would like to start one yourself, but you're afraid that it's too difficult or might take too long? We started one in January and let's have a look.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Welcome to our production center here in Porto. My name is Vadim and I work at Critical Concrete. Critical Concrete is a non-profit organization doing research and promoting sustainable architecture. Visit our website criticalconcrete.com if you want to know more about this farming approach and check the article dedicated to this topic. We invite you to watch our first food forest video where Sheila Darmos, owner and manager of a successful food forest farm, gives some insights into food forest principles and about her own experiences. Now let's go back in time and see how this project started. As we were building up a facade to close the workshop, we rearranged this place and built a retaining wall. We put away the stuff, painted the walls and arranged a little corner of about 3 square meters to become the future food forest. Have a look now at Sheila explaining how we started our little food forest, and don't miss her tips.
So it's very important, where it was in the soil before, it was in the soil until here. Until there it should be again. You should not dig it in until here. Because the trunk, it doesn't like to be in the moist, in the soil, it will start rotten and the tree will die. So it's really important to keep the same level, kind of. With shrubs, it doesn't matter. If you bury them, they will just make roots here, which can even be good for them. What some people do is when they plant tomatoes, they kind of bury them like deeper, so they make more roots and they are stronger and more like resistant, whatever. Yeah, when you buy a plant in a pot, sometimes the roots, they make kind of like spiral. So you have to free them kind of. So you support them to spread the roots, because otherwise they will continue growing like in a circle and it doesn't help the tree with the stability.
So what did you put in the hole?
The stinky compost in the bottom, the water will just go down in the ground and it will be okay. Then we put some sawdust to have it a bit more dry, and then we put the good warm compost, and we're gonna put a bit more. So this is like medium layer. We can combine it very good with low layer, which is all the berry shrubs we bought. They are behind you. So they will, like this can, you can choose actually at which height you want the growth to be. Like especially in my farm, it's super important to really decide where you want it to be. Because if it's too high, you need ladders for harvesting, and this makes all your food forests less efficient. You can prune a bit, but not too heavily, like especially lemons. And yeah, you just cut the tip, but you need to, you can't do it when it's too cold. So like now is not a good time for pruning because it's very cold and the tree will get a shock and just die. Like lemon trees are very sensitive to this. But if you see a tree and it has something like this is dead, so actually it's not so good for the tree if it's there, so you would cut it like here, above the last living branch. Okay, we're gonna get some good gardening tools, because this is, it didn't even cut it, it broke it, like it's damaging the tree worse. It's good to have like a real clean cut, otherwise it can get like mold and infections. Complete sun, which was not good for them because they were low layer, they needed the shade of a tree, and because they didn't have it, their leaves just burned, they just almost died, but then I transplanted them and I think they survived. But like this, even though I did no research, I could observe what's happening. So always observe and interact. If you don't know what to do, you have to observe. This one here is physalis. It's not really a shrub. It's more like climbing and crawling, kind of. So you would put it in a place where where you don't mind if it crawls, like in a corner or in a place where it has some space. Also, like now that you introduced it to your place, it will pop out everywhere. Like the thing is, the shape of this seed comb, it becomes like see-through, and it's really like a balloon. These things, they will fly everywhere by themselves, and through this the seed spreads. And like this they pop out everywhere without you throwing them there. It's like magic. I see now in my place everywhere physalis is growing. I'm like, what? I didn't plant it there. So it's like super magic. Lavender, which is super nice. And it's super good for the bees. It flowers for a very long period. And yeah, you can make tea with it and lots of things. And then we bought some strawberries, which are also ground covering. Yeah, and they duplicate by themselves every season. So if you have one plant, it will make like 10 babies around, and then you can actually transplant them into other places. So having plants is not always a matter of having money. This is mint. It's a herb, and herbs usually they like more sun and more hot. And also what this stone wall creates is like it's an edge between two ecosystems, kind of. Like there it's green, it has organic matter, it's more humid, and here, because it's nothing green, it will be more hot. So on the stone wall you have kind of this edge which you can use for some plants that want this more hot and a bit more dry, like herbs usually want it. So it's a good idea to plant these kind of herbs on the stone wall, because they don't like so much humid and shady.
Next to it, you mean?
Yeah, like inside, but next to it, yeah. And also this is like super nice for it because it crawls. Like there's some rosemary that grow like a bush, but some they crawl. You see it, this is like crawling. And it's also nice to put it like somewhere where it can grow here, but then crawl over. Wow. Yeah. This one here is peppermint. You can also use it in mojito or whatever, or just in your water,
Your face.
or yeah, exactly. This I think it's more okay with a bit more shady, and it will cover the ground. You will plant it in one place, and it will cover the whole space. This it pops out from everywhere, like underground. Physalis it covers from above, without really growing underground.
Like rosemary, kind of.
Yeah, Physalis is like rosemary. Yeah, like this kind of rosemary. And yeah, that's it.
So here we are now in the food forest. As you can see, a few months after, it's all very much green. The kiwis almost reached the top, and the mint spread all around the low layer. We already had some berries from the shrubs we planted, and the physalis in the corner spread very much around and now has some flowers. Unfortunately, we had to cut the lemon tree since it was sick. And right now we have an avocado tree. And another problem we are facing right now are the slugs, snails and caterpillars, which all of them love very much our mint, but also all the vegetables we tried to cultivate. Nevertheless, we are very happy with the results so far. We enjoy very much the place. And you have to keep in mind that it's a food forest and it requires time. If you like the video and don't want to miss any new content from our channel, subscribe right now and hit the notification bell. You can also become a patron and support our work with that. The description below contains all this and further information. Thank you for watching and stay critical!
Concrete.